Tesla defends its right to defend itself, another Gigafactory 1 hiring event, and you can't win them all. Here are your Tesla tidbits for April 4th, 2017. We start today again at Teslarati, where we get a report that Tesla is taking some flack for releasing driver logs. This one will get you probably more opinion in a story than I've done in these 208 episodes. I've had many a story on this show, and even titled many shows, It's Not the Car's Fault, due to owners blaming autopilot for accidents or Tesla for a car spontaneously smashing into a building. In every instance where this has happened, Tesla has followed up by releasing a statement containing what is usually the very detailed log of exactly what the car says the driver did. It seems some folks are getting their underwear in a twist over the practice. In response to a Guardian article on the practice, a Tesla spokesperson commented, quote, "We believe it is important that the public have a factual understanding of our technology," end quote. Two main things are at issue here. First is that some feel that it is incumbent upon Tesla to keep this data private. Second is that customers don't seem to be able to get access to this information on their own. I would argue that any expectation of privacy is out the window once you begin making public claims against the company. You can't just expect to make claims with impunity when these claims could have a very material effect on Tesla's business. Of course, they are going to show the proof that you are an idiot if indeed you were being an idiot. It's why all of these claims that have been brought are so bewildering to me. Maybe it's because I'm in the Tesla echo chamber, but doesn't everyone realize at this point that these cars have everything down to opening and closing doors logged? You can't fool Tesla. They know everything. So making these accusations with no proof of your own will end up getting you smacked down every single time. There's a reason that fully none of the several accusations that have come up have made it to court. Tesla has the evidence of no wrongdoing, and nobody has any evidence to the contrary. On the second point of not disseminating this data to the customers, this is where I side with owners. Being in IT, I can see why Tesla may not have a mechanism to allow owners to do this on their own, as opening a door to allow this is fraught with no small amount of peril. Not only do the folks you want to have access to the data get access, but now there's a mechanism where the bad guys can too. And with the amount of data that the car can reveal about you, this is not something you make available lightly. This is why I believe it should be available due to certain events. Accidents, thefts, and service issues are three areas where I think owners should be able to make a request to Tesla for logs during a certain duration and be provided with said logs. This would strike a balance between security and not overwhelming Tesla with service with log requests. The bottom line here is both sides need to be reasonable. Owners who know what they did need to stop making contrary claims in public, and Tesla needs to allow access to car logs under certain circumstances. We've had these before, but I'm not sure we've had them quite on this scale. Local news station KTVN reports that we've got another hiring event in the works by Panasonic for Gigafactory 1. The event will be held April 5th from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. local time at the Regional Public Safety Training Center at 5190 Spectrum Boulevard in Reno. Panasonic expects to boost the workforce at Gigafactory 1 by 2,000 employees in order to support production for Model 3. This does coincide with earlier statements at the beginning of the year that Model 3 cell production would begin this quarter. Hopefully they can get the folks they need quickly in order to begin churning out the cells needed for all those reservations. Lastly, we end on a sour note. Tesla fought all the way to the Supreme Court in the state of Utah and, unfortunately, has lost the battle. Tesla had built a store in Salt Lake City, but that was altered just weeks before open due to the Attorney General's office ruling it was against the state's direct sales law. That store was then converted to a gallery where they can't discuss price or give test drives. Tesla, legislators, and local dealers were attempting to come to a deal to allow them to open the store, but Tesla felt the deal was too restrictive and ended up opposed to the bill. Tesla's attempted workaround was to create a subsidiary and grant it a dealer agreement. But in a unanimous decision, the Utah Supreme Court did not agree. Justice Thomas Lee wrote in the ruling, quote, "We interpret the statutes to prohibit a motor vehicle manufacturer from owning part of any separate entity that sells the manufacturer's new motor vehicles in the state. We also uphold the statutory scheme against Tesla Utah's constitutional attack," end quote. A Tesla spokesperson responded, quote, "The Utah ruling is disappointing for Tesla and all Utah consumers interested in consumer choice, free markets, and sustainable energy. We will pursue all options to ensure that Tesla can operate in Utah without restriction. In the meantime, we will continue to provide service and limited sales activities through our used car license at our location in South Salt Lake City," end quote. With the Supreme Court of the state issuing a ruling, Tesla will have to work to change the existing laws to make progress on direct sales in Utah. You can find the links to today's full stories in the show description. This show operates on a value-for-value model. If you get some value out of what I do each day, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. As always, thanks to super patrons John Waltower, Drew Schuyler, Cookie UK, and John Waller for supporting the show at the $10 plus level. Thanks also to my newest patron, Patrick O'Shea, for his support. If you've got nothing extra to spare, that's totally fine. Please feel free to support the show with your positive iTunes and YouTube feedback and subscriptions, as well as across other services on the internet. Lastly, if you're in the market for a Tesla, you can get yourself $1,000 off while supporting the show and super patron Drew Schuyler by using the referral link ts.la/Andrew1233. That's all for today. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits. I'll see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.